what has given me the inspiration. Not it has been handed to me only in not literally, but as a side effect of what I've gone through the last more than 6 years and earlier on. I started when I lived, well, also when I lived in Ireland in the 90s, the beginning of the 90s. It was very popular to eat low-fat food like cheese here. So I started doing that. And vegetables has always been something I enjoy eating. And then when I lived in Vejle, I started looking into, because of McDonald, I think his name is, an American in Denmark, because his father had cancer, and he looked into around the world what is beneficial to eat when someone has cancer, and to all as not only to cure but also to prevent the cancer as an illness. I'm talking about the illness cancer, not zodiac sign. And then he went around the world to different countries asking doctors about what could cure cancer. And there were different spices, was that the word? Like pepper, black pepper, and a lot of vegetables and fruit. And his father blended the vegetables and the fruit, and he drank it through the day. I saw on his table he had a lot of blenders with so much fruit and vegetables blended, and it cured him, or it made him, well, I think when someone has cancer, it's not, well, they need to go to the hospital now and then to be checked. So, but it helped him. So after that, I started looking at the internet, looking for, finding out which vegetables, and especially vegetables, and also, especially vegetables, which of the vegetables, what's brain food and what is good for, what do they, for different parts of the body, and what do they contain of vitamins and things like that. And I ate a lot of vegetables, I still do, and fruit, and it so much that that I did not and do not feel good if I go through a day without eating a lot of vegetables and also fruit, but a lot of a big variety of vegetables. And then through all these years, I've looked into religion and philosophy, history, and and the experience I write about in Divine Interventions are all the experiences I've had, especially through the last 6 years, but also what I think the past in my life prepared me for what is happening and what's happened the last more than 6 years. So it's and it is closely related to the car accident, so-called, and my invention, Speed of Light Craft, that gets its propulsion from magnetic attraction. Also, that's the braking, how to say it, that is placed at the front of the spacecraft and at the rear end of the spacecraft. and it's many years ago that I started uh, um, reading Einstein, Newton, in at some point it's because there was something or someone. I think something because there was not anyone up there. I had an electrician check, so I don't know where the sounds came from, how it was done, but I was told that there was not anyone up there by the electrician who crawled up there. But I don't know how it happened, but it's not uh, around me anymore. And so it's all uh, uh, the insights, I think, I had. It also contains a lot of questions that are that I don't know the answers to about Egyptian mythology, and it's how I view also the de-evolution of the genders and in relation to each other, and um, and so on. How I believe that what the insights it has given me, and the path I have taken, because I don't feel and I know there's it's just a path that, because it's not it was unavoidable. I don't know how to explain it. It was what happened and what I concluded from what happened, and the insights that I want to explain when something like that happens, when knots in the past are to be untied, for what is tied within the knots to be freed, so that the potential is free, and also that not only a potential but a potential that can be used for your own benefit. So it's like other books that explain how what insights and I think all the books that talk about when they believe people, they have some insights and knowledge, that to write something personal, you have to have personal experiences. If you do not have personal experiences, then you will only repeat what has already been said, like an abundance of this and that, and the universe, and believe this and that, and but sometimes it's more complicated than just believing and controlling your thoughts, and sometimes there are much more at play. I don't mean that it is a play or that it's a game to play, but it's at play, you know what I mean? At stake or at play, something that is a part of the situation that is has to do with a oppression in the past of a specific type of people, or something related to gender, something related to what you're occupied with, and so it's all a sum of and of what the insights I have done, and I don't think, well, it's not done yet. And how I got through it. So if the amount of problems are at a lesser degree than all the problems I have had and all that I've had to solve, that I think should have been in everyone's interest, and then it would have been much easier. Then, but it's because it's the collective subconscious, and because what the selective subconscious also is that it is handed through generations, the view on specific people, and then in culture, movies, and maybe art, and I don't know what else. Yeah, everything that's culture, how genders are represented in culture. It all talks about or reinvents the archetypes in that affects the collective subconscious for people to then know how do we view this and that. But when it is out of context, what I mean is that does not fit with laws in a country or around the world, most of the world. It does not fit in because what's the word? What's the expression? We do have possibilities. White women have the same, and black women have the same possibilities as men on the paper, as we say in Danish. But what about in reality? Is it really so? And what else is there that stands in the way for people to think that that is not so? That there are different rules for some people. I know, well, India, they have the caste system, but it has to do with hierarchy, and it is everywhere hierarchies. But we have laws and rules that prevent self-made hierarchies to keep people down and pretend that some people do not have the same rights as the rest of the population. And that's a big problem when people are so eager to have some kind of narrative around a specific type of people or the specific gender or a specific whatever. There's some kind of stigma that has been wrongly attached to them or even rightly, and that should not be a problem either. So here it's wrongly, but in some cases it's rightly, but why should that then stand in the way for them having the same opportunities as other people? So it's totally fine and with me that if people think that it inspires them and they can use it in their hopefully minor amount of problems through whatever they go through, what they want to accomplish, but not so that they think they wrote it, because I wrote it from all my personal experiences and the conclusions and the insight that I think I gained. And that is, if people think it's at the level that it should be, it could be something that it is added to as a new angle of viewing things, or they could just say, well, it's not for me, I don't think that it's, or there's some person that thinks that I cannot relate. Well, that's fine. But I wrote as what I call divine interventions, because it's what I have experienced. Divine interventions. Well,